Hey guys, so when trying to do this summary, I had a little bit of difficulty. So, for Professor, this is the last one, obviously. So, and I'm not even gonna try to fight YouTube for keeping the comments because it is a young adult novel, and I feel that it is an important one. After the intro, I will be doing a stopwatch so that way I can keep track of how long I'm doing stuff, but since I want to meld in with this, yeah. So this is my summary for one of my thematic project books. It's only the summary, not the evaluation or anything else. And I'm mainly doing it this way because I'm having trouble writing it out because I did start. My roommates saw that part of how I'm starting it, but the way I need it, you can't talk about this singular book without talking about a little bit of the series as a whole. So the trick is to try to include that, and it's very difficult. So what I'm doing is a verbal summary, and I will hopefully only go 10 minutes talking about this at best, if not less. I'm hoping this works and I don't have to take another tickets. But yeah. So the book is called So the book is called Cinder, and it is by Marissa Meyer and is part of the first book of the quartet of the Lunar Chronicles series, which is a 4-book series that spawned off into a prequel of the antagonist's perspective, history-wise, a collection of short stories, and a 2-book graphic novel, as far as I know. It is pretty much it's fairy tales meets Star Wars with a little bit of Terminator for the cyborg-esque part of the story, and it is a marvelous story. The author and the book, even the first book, has won multiple awards, if not been just nominated for it. Now this book kind of does something that another author I have read in the past has done at one point, where they do multiple perspectives instead of one singular one. And for this one, it goes into, each book goes into multiple perspectives. The first one goes off to perspectives mainly of one and partially of one other character, which I'm going to talk about right now. The last little bit I'm going to say is I did have a book trailer, but I found something even better from the same account just after the series was done. And it's a lot better than the book trailer due to the fact of the actor accuracies to the character visually. So the 4 fairy tales that were used for this series was Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, Rapunzel, and Snow White, with a little bit a Little Mermaid / Pinocchio with one character that was developed later on. The story first book follows Cinder or Lynn Cinder, or yeah, I think I'm pronouncing that right. A cyborg girl who has been with an adopted family for, I think it was 5 years, it said in the book. She has a mechanic hand and I don't know if it's just her foot or if it's how much of her leg is robotic, but due to some sort of accident that afterwards, once she was repaired and healed, was given to a man from the Eastern Commonwealth, which is the futuristic Asian country on Earth. However, soon after, the man who brings her home with him dies, and she is stuck with this horrible mother, a mean sister, and a nice sister. ironically enough. So there's only one mean stepsister in this version of Cinderella. However, Cinder's not all really that lonely. She has her little android Aiko to keep her company and help her with her tasks, which is mainly being a mechanic for her stepmother to pay, well, rent. The other perspective comes from the prince of the Eastern Commonwealth, again the Asian country in this futuristic take, named Kai, and their paths cross when he is trying to fix an android of his own to collect the information off of said android. But that would go into spoilers, which I rather you guys read the book to find out. And it isn't just a futuristic cybernetic future. There's also, at one point, the Earthens eventually were able to colonize on the moon, and over, I don't even know how long, they had their own species called Lunars, which affects the bioelectricity in the air that makes them seem like magic. So, like, they can make themselves look the way they want you to think they look, can make you think the way they want to make you think, and will make you do what you might not want to do. Up till this point, the Lunars have kept to themselves as a peace treaty, so not to fight with the Earth as a whole, which also has gone through its own peace treaty for years now and has not been broken. The Lunar Queen, Lavana, is probably, who shall I say, the evil queen for our fourth book, as well as the main antagonist for this series, and is the one who gets her own prequel story to learn about how she became the way she was. Which kind of I respect from this author, due to the fact of she could have been not as bad if the events didn't happen the way they did. The way this book is written is the transition between one perspective to the other, which is more relevant and more used in the second through the fourth books, is very seamless. It's almost like you're going from one point of view to the next, almost like a television show, a movie, or anime. But yeah, Cinder has to deal with the fact of being a different kind of person to everyone else, because cyborgs are claimed to be second-class citizens in everybody's eyes, sadly. And then on top of that, for many years, a plague called letumosis has been on Earth. You can think of it as like the bubonic plague. And it does, with the exception of the moon, it touches everybody. Doesn't matter race, class, etc. And it is a sight to see, visually or mentally, when reading the book or even listening to the audible. Cinder is a protagonist that many of us can get behind in one way or another for many different reasons. And I have been a fairy tale fanatic for pretty much most of my life. Vaguely a Star Wars and Terminator fan, but not as much as the fairy tale. So but reading this, there's only a few book series that I can actually envision myself in, and actually many fans have done that due to the loads of fan art. And one person I found, even back when I was still looking for the artwork, story-wise telling of there are other fairy tales that could be inspired to be in this series. I'm almost near the end, so I'm gonna say if you don't believe me on this series, that check the video on your left. I'm praying that I'm pointing in the right direction, otherwise I have to move videos over. And check out the response to the series as a whole. But again, I have found this book in my mid years of college, and it was a pleasure to read. I wish that this was out when I was in 7th grade, and I could have read this, Rick Riordan and Darren Shan all at the same time. But yeah, that is my summary of the series without spoiling everything. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys, Professor, maybe in the future, as well as any classmates, if I show this video.